What is going on, collective? I hope that you are doing well from the last time that you watched one of my videos or saw another tarot reader or channeler. As we prepare our smoke cleanse here, a big shout out, the biggest shout out to the Most High God, the Archangels, Galactic Federation of Light, any of our ancestors, guides, and passed on loved ones. It's the same as ancestors, but maybe not necessarily, family related. We all have those who may have passed that we didn't have any relation with, blood-wise. I am getting already, this is a lower chakra message and cleanse, yeah, and that's going to yield what we've been looking for with the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom of the deck. Spirit, as I shuffle, is there anything that you would like to say to the collective at the time? Death cutting in next to the Wheel of Fortune. Death isn't necessarily all about dying, it's just about change, things ending that were taking place. I think that's exactly what's going on. Someone is getting deep into shadow work right now, and they may need a little bit of assistance, because you could be sitting in shadow work energy all day long and just looking at what's passing through, like Three of Cups, the Tower, a few other things. Tower flashing at me again, the Hangman jumbling out. I'll take the whole stack. We'll start with that. Thank you, Spirit. I need to relight my cone. Pardon me, collective. You just have to bear with me for another 2 or 3 seconds there. Your patience is greatly appreciated. Okay, and I'm going to keep that on hand in case we get any more mishaps. Alright, Knight of Wands at the top. We have got some passionate energy about this. Oh, yeah, okay. The Hanged Man, the High Priestess, Knight of Pentacles. I'm going to stick this up so we got an even row here. But there is some emphasis on the Knight of Wands about your passions, your drive, your pursuit of self. And maybe you're feeling a little like the shadow work is just beating you into the ground. And don't worry, because, yeah, Six of Cups on top of that Knight of Wands. People are talking about this in good and bad ways. You're being viewed as the prize. You have been through some serious things here, collective, with the Hanged Man and the High Priestess right next to each other. But this is all starting to look up. As we cycle through, yeah, there we go with that droop cone being tricky on me. Someone doesn't want me to be protected. That's too bad. Just have to get over it. Alright, set that majorly on fire. There we go. Okay. My goodness, yeah, maybe this is not the first time someone's heard this. Take it only if it is resonating, if this is the first time you're hearing this and you're exploring into this energy. I would urge you to pat yourself on the back. Things are coming in for you, but not necessarily that you might be able to see. The High Priestess next to the Hanged Man, as well as the Ace of Cups and Nine of Cups. This may be more internally, that you don't even realize how much progress that you've made emotionally, that you are ready for union, and you do have, it looks like possibly 2 options. You have someone coming in who's very financially endowed, as well as someone who is extremely passionately endowed. Okay. And there's a lot of talk about this, but you don't seem to be necessarily a part of it, and you may only be as your intuition is illuminating it to you. As we shift over towards the Light Seer Tarot, with the cutting at the Three of Wands at the bottom of the deck. So someone doesn't necessarily see this, but they can perceive of it, and I think it might be a little frustrating. That is quite alright. You're going to have to take them out on the spirit. I am also going to shuffle I don't normally. Yeah, Five of Swords and Five of Wands. Could be seeing 55, 555, a lot of fives. Maybe you got five on it. You know what I mean? You know what your destiny is. You're just waiting for the pieces to fall into place. Yeah, I'm getting a lot better at that. Thank you for that, Spirit. Appreciate that. All right, anything else, Spirit, that the collective needs to know at this time? Clarification for what we have on the board. Six of Swords at the bottom. Someone didn't want to look at this. And trust me, I get you, collective. And again, every reader, Six of Swords was at the bottom, just jumped out on me anyways. If someone doesn't want to look at this, so I'm going to expound upon Six of Swords a little bit more. This may be the card of the day, I think. Toss it in our coconut holder right there, which is not sold in stores, and we will see what the advice is. Six of Swords. It is Aquarius energy. Second Deacon Aquarius. Alright. Six of Swords. Transition. Help arriving at the perfect time. Rites of passage. Healing. Moving beyond trauma or shadows of the past. Support from others. Personal evolution. A spiritual transition or journey. Yeah, I think you're coming up on one of these checkpoints where you may actually start to see some of that darkness that you were stuck in or working through come to the light. And what we mean by that is you're starting to get more in alignment with who and what you are and what your purpose is. And if you don't know what your purpose is and you're just somehow finding my channel and you're being guided to it, you may be in this energy and don't even realize it. So buckle up. You are moving through a period of realignment, and things can feel turbulent during these times of transition. Trust that a better future awaits you on the other side of this change. Maybe you're going through a rite of passage or an intense spiritual transformation. These experiences are profoundly personal, and you may feel alone right now. Even when it is difficult to accept assistance from others, remain open to receiving help from the most unexpected of places. That's generally how it goes, collective. Isn't that right? Allow the gentle support of the universe to move you through this ocean of evolution and lean towards silver linings on the horizon. More sunshine? Yes, please. Sometimes we find ourselves adrift because we think we are ready to move on. But our heart is still anchored to the past. What old chapter needs to be closed? Chase guidance in the form of renewed hope, and get ready to explore fresh beginnings on the opposite shore. I accept help as I easily cross this transition. I don't normally do Shadow Seer and Light Seer explanations on both, especially if it came out in the upright. But let's go ahead and dip into this for a little bit of clarity on the options that we have towards these transitions. In the Shadow Seer aspect, we have difficulties accepting help, resistance to change, arduous transitions, carrying baggage and weight from your past. I think that's exactly where we were, and now we're moving into this Light Seer, so I'll read that again for reiteration. Transitions, help arriving at the perfect time, and I must note, that may not necessarily be when you know when it's going to happen, and that is extremely frustrating, but also part of your test of faith. Rites of passage, healing, moving beyond trauma or shadows of the past, support from others, personal evolution, a spiritual transition, or journey. So now that we've established that, Spirit, I think the next step is going to be trying to find some level of expounding upon how we might be able to move through these transitions with an easier time about it. I'm going to go ahead and grab something from the Starseed Oracle. Big shout out to our tarot card producers and their community. appreciate you guys. Some of these illustrations are very beautiful and very awe-inspiring, as well as informative. So all praise to the Most High God for all of the tarot printers, artists, and channelers to be able to help bring these messages in. Flashing at "You Got the Love" at the bottom, you're going to have to kick it out on me, Spirit. I'm not taking it unless it falls all the way out, because this is a stubborn message. Someone may be resisting some of these passages of change. Yeah, with that Knight of Wands, that slow-moving energy towards the Two of Cups next to the High Priestess. Take another look at the board there. Maybe some of this gossip could potentially be deterring you from some of your passions. Don't let it get in the way. At the end of the day, you're the operator of your own vessel, but you're not alone. You're not alone. Flashing at the bottom of the deck there. Maybe, Earth School at the bottom. Life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. Some of this may be overwhelming to a certain degree, especially if you are going about it alone. I'm sorry, flashing at the bottom there. Defenselessness, right past wrongs, uprooting. Maybe you got bamboozled by something and now you're just finally moving through. Yeah, karmic relationships flashing at me. You're going to have to kick one out, Spirit, if you want me to read it. No offense. And I hope none taken. Alright, I'll take them. Okay. Perspective and Star Brothers. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. Star Brothers. Horus energy. Protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. I'm going to sit those right on top there. Interesting how they line up too. Perspective right over the Hangman, High Priestess, the Ace of Cups, Nine of Cups, and Star Brothers over Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Two of Cups, Six of Cups. It's very interesting. Alright, we're going to shoot over towards perspective, because I think that's probably where we're needing to make some of these shifts. It's just a little letting go, and then a little allowing. Alright, perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture of your life. Step away from the blinkered vision and reactive frame of mind of me against them. Change your perspective, shift your point of view, and zoom out, out, out. We are but a speck of dust in the universe, yet we think everything revolves around us. We see the planet as ours to own and conquer, pillaging the land and setting ourselves up for our eventual extinction. We build fences and walls and create invisible borders. Mother Earth doesn't need us to survive, but we need her. It's time to wake up. A new perspective is urgently needed. We become so lost in our individual experience that we don't realize that most of the things that keep us awake at night are actually distractions. We're wasting our precious time and resources fighting each other when we should be coming together to heal what's been severed. This moment is a breath in the timeline of your life. Excuse my grumbling, I'm on a little bit of an intermittent fast there. This life is a fleeting moment in the tapestry of your soul's experience. Your soul's experience is a flash in the timeline of the known universe. And the known universe is a grain of sand in the unknown universe. Take a moment to see the bigger picture, to find common ground, to find deep compassion in your heart, to gain a greater perspective of humanity in this fleeting moment in the timeline of your soul's existence, in the timeline of all that is, was, and ever will be. Inquiry for all the star seeds out there. How are you being called to change your perspective? Man, right on the money, as per usual. Thank you, Spirit. Profound. Star Brothers. Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, trust. You're more protected than you can imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now, from those in your life and from the benevolent beings you're connected with. Through ancestral patterning, current life traumas, spiritual birth, and past life karmic impressions, many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support. We've learned that we need to go at life alone, that it's not safe to let our guard down and our heart open, that the world isn't a friendly place. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even if you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you can ever imagine, both in this world and beyond. To call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs, and to learn to open your heart, especially when it wants to harden. Inquiry for the star seeds. How can you open yourself up to receiving more support? Okay, this is starting to take shape beyond what I expected that it was going to. We've had a lot of the same reoccurring messages. I'm going to move right down to Moonology. I'm only going to grab one from this guy. Mookai goes over here. Alright. Try and keep this somewhat short. So I think this is more or less just a compilation for somebody. Yeah, Moonstruck, take a breath at the bottom. I do not stack these at all, and I wouldn't dream of it. So however they come up is how they come up. Alright, do a little shuffle in here. And kick them out on me here. Come on, Spirit. Moon Mastery, Law of Attraction, cutting in two. I'm down for the magic. I don't know about you, Collective, but that magic is one of the spicy aspects of life that this reader absolutely relishes. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Kick it out on me, Spirit. Give me something here. Advice for the collective moving forward in some of these transitions, to be able to let go what no longer serves them, be it trauma, experiences, people, places, things that are in the way. Could potentially also be boundaries. I'm being flashed boundaries at the bottom. Maybe you need to relax a little bit and allow some of this healing to take place, even if it doesn't happen on your timeline. And maybe you've been badgered more or less into a corner, even if only by yourself, or trying to maintain a level of boundaries that keep you safe. And I can assure you, while that does work intermediately, at some level or another, you're going to need a sense of guidance or direction in this massive place. Yeah, watch for signs at the bottom. The more that you see, the more that you trust, and the more that you feel these synchronicities and these signs, the more you begin to realize that it's something, how do I put this, Spirit? It's something that's going to be out of your control, but you have every availability to participate as well as observe and experience. And that's what life is really all about. Alright, Spirit, give me something from Moonology here. Alright, you're being stubborn on me. Okay, okay. Slow it down. Wow, and this reader is moving at a breakneck pace over here. Alright, slow it down. Maybe we're moving at things a little too fast, or things are not unfolding to our level of development. You see these different facing moons here. I think we're all facing away from the cycle or the process of renewal and healing. And you may want to rush that and just get right back into having a good time or feeling like you have that joy or that boundless freedom of being yourself. Let's dip in to slow it down a little bit and see what's going on. This one always trips me up. Moon stone. Slow it down. Oh, there it is. The heart wants what the heart wants. And it wants it when it wants it. But the timing isn't always right. Maybe you want something before the other person is ready for it, or vice versa. Suffice to say that you may need to slow things down. This isn't just about patience. It's about actively slowing down. Stop pushing too hard. Be strong and shine your light. Focus on what you want and not on what you don't want. You're stronger than you know. The situation you're asking about is fertile. Be graceful as you wait, without trying to force anything or anyone. Trying to rush a person or situation isn't likely to work out for you right now, so do what you can to take a step back. You might like to hold a moonstone while you meditate now, to help you stay patient and allow events to unfold. This is a sublimely feminine stone that has strong associations with the moon. Explore your goddess energy. Stay strong and centered in your own power instead of dissipating your energy, focusing on what you can't control. Additional meanings for this card. Excuse me. Spiritual burp confirmation. Focus on what you can control there, I think, is the confirmation. Additional meanings for this card. Pregnancy or birth. Love is coming into your life. Talk to a female mentor. Calm down. Breathe out and relax. About this symbol. Moonstone is a truly luminous crystal. It's strong and it knows that all things come to those who wait. I think I'm getting that someone is extremely passionate as well as invested in those passions and has made great strides towards trying to find some level of integration into themselves. I'm running out of room here, so as I give you my little spiel, I'm going to try and pack up a few of these decks so we can move on to a few more, because I think the advice is still there, but if I'm looking at it, I think someone may be getting a little stir crazy about the lack of control that they have in this situation, as well as having the drive and passion to want to be the active participant, or at least spearheading some of the progress. But if you're receiving angelic assistance, that happens on their time. That's their free will, that you have to ask for them to come and intervene in your life, and then let it go. Because at that point, you don't have the perspective that they do, and they're going to want to expedite things or make things easier for themselves in whatever way they can. Deep cellular healing. Yeah, maybe you're just tired of all the healing. Like, at what point does it end? I can assure you that while you can only see so much trauma within this lifetime, you may not have healed from the traumatic experiences of previous lifetimes, and that would drive someone up a wall crazy if they didn't have the necessary perspective, right? Slow it down perspective, Star Brothers, that our ancestors have. Seek healing. Yeah, this is about healing. This is about someone else having gone through something that is similar enough to what you have to be able to provide you some assistance. And I don't think we're looking in the right places. But that is okay, because we're receiving some assistance. Excuse me while I let our tarot kitty cat on the loose there. And thank you very much for your company. Okay, Collective. That's a lot of interruptions for this bad boy, but we're going to be alright. Archangel Michael underneath our leopard skin jasper. I don't know if I've covered this one before, but it's almost like a very absorbent stone. Like even if you have the smallest amount of like sweat on your fingers or your palms, it feels like it just soaks it up and it's gone instantly, or that it's just contained within there forever. I don't know where it goes, but it feels like it absorbs things, possibly even negativity. Cutting into, or the way forward is open at the bottom of the deck here. Spirit and Archangel Michael, please give us something here that is going to allow us to make the necessary shifts, including the next track. If you like that one, sorry, but it's not the right mood. One kicking out on me immediately after that. Maybe it's as easy as clicking a button and we just need to let it go. I got two. Wow. Embrace your life purpose. You're ready for more. So I think someone is ready to dive in towards purpose, towards fulfillment, towards seeking a greater understanding of life. It's time to play at the bottom. And I think that this may be serious for you based on some of the trauma that you may have incurred along your way. And it's difficult to let that go, as well as turn right around and then hop into this joyful, playful energy in the same breath. And I think while it is idealistic to try and think that that might take place, it probably isn't going to work out necessarily that way without angelic assistance, without a strong community to be able to help you transmute and integrate your shadow, integrate your shadow and transmute anything along the way. Not only is there a severely limited number of people who are actually black magic or shadow transmuters that can take that and then turn it into light, it takes a lot of energy to do that in and of itself in the first place, and it's a job that's probably better suited towards the Most High God, archangels, the Galactic Federation of Light, and other ascended masters and beings that have been called to be in our space to do exactly that. You can't handle everything on your own. If you're anything like me, being guided to my channel, then just know even if you try to do it all by yourself, you may still fall short and wind up extremely frustrated, burnt out, let down. And I think we've been there. I think that's just another confirmation as to you could go and, run it down like you have been and feel like you're stranded, isolated, and contemplating why you possibly even came into this world, trying to find that purpose. So let's go ahead and dig right into embrace your life purpose, because that's a big one. And if you are ready, Spirit and your guides will let you know. You may not even know that you're ready. So let's hop right in. There are different ways in which confusion about what it is you've come to Earth to do can manifest. Some souls are puzzled about the specific form their life purpose should take, and to them I can send signs, clues, and synchronicities. There are also people who know what they want their guiding mission to be, but they have dismissed it as not being realistic or possible. When you reject what your heart is telling you to do with your life, it's only natural that you would then tend to be baffled as to your purpose. You have your dreams for a reason. They are signs meant to lead you on the right path for your soul's and the world's evolution. I encourage you to look within and embrace your truth, then make it come alive with the help of all the angels at your disposal. However, if you experience detours or bumps in the road as you move forward with your plans, it's also important to explore those. It's possible that your dream was never meant to be realized, but instead lead you somewhere even more amazing than you were anticipating. As always, I am with you the whole way, my sword of light pointing in the direction of your dreams. Thank you for that, Archangel Michael. And Spirit, you are ready for more. Maybe someone doesn't want to take a look at the fact that they may be ready and don't even know it. But your angels are assuring you, as well as you have this reinforcement of all this emotional, like you got the High Priestess, the Hangman, Ace of Cups, Nine of Cups underneath. Change your perspective and you're ready for more. In between, Slow It Down, Star Brothers, Embrace Your Life's Purpose. I mean, this is very specific here. So only take that if it resonates, as with the whole message, of course. But maybe some attachment in some other directions. I'm Only Dreaming is the track coming on here right now. Towards your dreams. Do you remember your dreams? You can always ask your angels and your guides to help remind you. You're ready for more. You're in a place of personal power in this moment, even if it may not seem like that to you. This is the perfect time for you to make changes in your career or to become self-employed. If you're seeking a promotion or a job somewhere else, this is your high five from me that you're in a position to go for it. I will take the high five. Thank you, Archangel Michael. If you've been wanting to create your own business, the stars have aligned, and you are ready. Plan carefully and wisely. Be strategic in how you go about making this transition. This is the moment that you have been waiting for. Move forward with planning for your big change. Okay, that is beautiful. Thank you again, Archangel Michael and Spirit. I'm grabbing something from Spirit Animal Pocket Oracle, and we're out of here. Okay, collective, this is profound. This is, believe it or not, what needs to take place. If you're so confused as to your purpose, or that you've invested so much energy towards something that wasn't necessarily for you, you could be feeling like, you let yourself down. But in reality, maybe, let's take for instance, cooking would be a good analogy. You can replace just about anything in craft food and beverage. I'll take that. I'm going to keep going. And what comes out as a result, let's take baking. You could make some oat bread, potato bread, you could make whole wheat bread, and each of those subtle variations of recipes has requirements for different things. I'll take it. Yeah. That's a good one. And yields massively different results. So maybe there are some slight and subtle variations of either our perspective, our behavior, or some of our steps toward it, or maybe even our attitude towards this entire process that may be trying to throttle us into this, like, I gotta get it done, I'm passionate, I'm on fire, I'm feeling it, I've learned my lessons, where's it at? I'm chomping at the bit, let me go. I'll take that one, and then we're out of here. Okay. We've got Giraffe Spirit. See the big picture. Man, don't miss. Dragonfly Spirit. Truth transcends illusion. And White Raven Spirit. Trust in the magic. Wow. 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 Look at how that's lining up here. We have see the big picture. Change your perspective. You're ready for more. Dragonfly Spirit over truth transcends illusion, and slow it down. Right? You're thinking that you need to get this done, but slow is more or less of all-encompassing, or you have more time. You've granted yourself more time, or you've invested more in the sense where you don't feel like you have to rush it. And trust in the magic over embrace your life purpose. Let me just see if memory serves me. This should be a 6 of Cups, 2 of Cups, The Knight of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, that's definitely a speed issue. Maybe it's about the pace that you've been going as well. Take that, again, only if it resonates. But maybe you've been kind of like, been goalpost shifted either by your angels or outside forces that the Most High may be allowing to work as a blessing in disguise in your favor, and that the pace that you're at or were trying to go about things may have been burning you out, and you have a hard time facing that. And trust me, I do too, because if I can get something done and out of the way, that's one less thing that I have to worry about. But the paradox in that, going back to our little card here, is that those are illusions. Again, Dragonfly Spirit, truth transcends illusion. The reality is that, I hate to say it like corporate America does, but slow is fast and fast is slow. You're more likely to make mistakes at a faster pace than you are at a slower pace, which means in the long run of your progression, if you're going about things slower, you're making less mistakes, which is less progress that you have to make overall. So incrementally, you would be making steadier progress. Tortoise and hare type stuff. Okay? We're going to go from this way over to this way, and then we're out of here. Giraffe Spirit. I hope that you're taking that well and not beating yourself up over it. Giraffe Spirit, see the big picture. Oracle message. Giraffes stretch upward to reach the treetops and look down from a high vantage point. When Giraffe Spirit appears, it is a sign to observe from a higher view. In all aspects of your life, it is time to stretch your neck out and broaden your view. Open your eyes to what others need or are experiencing and see the big picture you fit into. No matter how great your wisdom, knowledge, or experience, you don't want to overlook details and connections that will help you better understand yourself and your circumstances. So stretch yourself. Look beyond what catches your eye at eye level. Look beyond what catches your attention at eye level, and know that not everything is as obvious as you might like it to be. Spirit will bestow upon you a new perspective that might make all the difference. Protection message. Are you sticking your neck out too far, reaching too high instead of looking around you to see conditions on the ground? Your devotion to co-creating something new is admirable, but Giraffe Spirit is showing up to remind you that you have to look at the whole picture, not just those tasty leaves at the top of the tree. Perspective is necessary now, and that means checking in with what is going on around you and at your feet. I just heard someone say that I was a very tasty leaf. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for that. But the message is, don't be looking at me. Look at the whole picture. Or perhaps you are ruminating over the worries of the world instead of paying attention to what you can do right now. I think it's a little bit of a typo, but we're going to keep moving along. Where you are, to bring about the changes you would like to see. Align with your highest good and know that while your perspective is important, transformation begins where you are. Do not get so far up in the clouds thinking about all the big problems that you lose perspective and forget to do your part. However small it may be, to start enacting change for transformation begins with you. Okay, I think we're starting to get there. A little at a time, a little confirmation, synchronicity here in the progress or process of this progress can be such a huge relief. So if this is resonating for you, feel free to leave a like or a comment, subscribe, or share, because this message is pretty profound and specific, but I think there's a lot of people who could potentially need to hear this, myself included. Dragonfly Spirit. Truth transcends illusion. Oracle message. Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of the wisdom and truth available at all times. Just as a dragonfly catches your eye with its reflective wings and body, Dragonfly Spirit appears to tell you to pay attention to the truth beyond the illusion and recognize the insights that come seemingly out of nowhere. In the realm of spirit, there is far more wisdom than you can perceive with your senses, and there's a deep knowing that you are not separate or alone. For a higher power recognizes you and loves you beyond measure. Fears dissipate as you realize that you are embraced by the nurturing force that is everywhere, always in communication with you. Alighting when you are preoccupied, Dragonfly Spirit offers this message. You exist in unity with all, including the protective spirits who share their wisdom, and you are being nudged along the path. Your soul needs to travel to have experiences it craves. Protection message. Did you really think this world of the senses is all there is? It's not, collective. Spoiler alert. From the hidden mystical realms, signs are being sent to you. Maybe someone's thinking that they're mythical. No, they're mystical. They're real. You just gotta believe, because that is a sign of granting permission to something outside of yourself. And also be careful with that, what you believe in, because there and again, you're granting permission. But perhaps you have perceived separation and convinced yourself that you are on your own. I think that's exactly what we're looking at right here. Have you fallen into spiritual amnesia and forgotten your connection to a living, loving, always supportive universe? If so, rub the sleep out of your eyes, for Dragonfly Spirit is here to remind you of all the love and support available to you in every moment. There is an organizing principle underlying the events you have experienced, and Dragonfly Spirit can help you see it, and trust that Spirit has your back. Let go of the illusion of chaos and randomness. Love is here, so follow the signs that appear serendipitously. As you pay attention to the magic all around you, you will know you are on the right track. I always love that word, serendipitously. Serendipity, just whatever is gonna be, and you can't really explain it. It's some of the mysticism of the universe. It's kind of what makes being shamanic so much fun. White Raven Spirit. Trust in the magic. Oracle message. Nothing in the universe is random, for the intricate web of co-creation weaves together all events and has done so since the beginning of time. Coincidences have meaning, and White Raven Spirit appears to remind you to pay attention to those synchronicities so that you might recognize patterns. Even the winds dance in a pattern, participating in the magic of Spirit's plan for all. Align with the highest good and intentions, and you will come to see that White Raven is guiding you. Oh, also, quick shout out to the Orishas. Thank you for overseeing tarot and allowing for the Archangels and the Galactic Federation and some of our tried and true defenders of our own territory to allow for these messages to take place. Appreciate you. Align with the highest good and intentions, and you will come to see that White Raven is guiding you, an ally to you and a messenger from Spirit. Align with the light, and you will start to recognize that all is working together harmoniously in ways the eye can't always see and the mind can't always comprehend. The universe is conspiring on your behalf right now. Hold on, segue. I'm laughing because there are many, many things that are beyond our comprehension, and sometimes it tickles Spirit to leave us shell-shocked a little bit, but not too much. You to the light and bringing you the magic and miracles that are your birthright. Now is the time to trust in the magic of the world that is everywhere and in all things. Pay attention to see how things come together, as if by magic. And sometimes it is by magic, Collective. I'll just let you know right now. It's out there. If you don't believe it, you're probably not looking hard enough. And if you can't see it, maybe you don't believe hard enough. And you will see the hand of Great Spirit arranging things in your favor. Protection message. Are you being distracted by the illusion of a chaotic universe? Deep in your heart, you know the world is full of magic, and White Raven has appeared to remind you that the ways of the world can cause spiritual amnesia. Stay awake and alert, for Spirit wants you to enjoy the miracles all around you. Remember, the evidence of divine order can be seen everywhere. Ask for a sign and it shall be yours. Synchronicities happen all the time, so if you are in a time of challenge and feel cynical, all you need to do is ask for a reminder. White Raven will appear to reassure you that all of this is leading to something better, for magic is in the wind. And Oya is the goddess of the wind. Big shout out to Oya. Thank you for all the little moments where you sent me a little confirmation breeze or put a nice ring in some of the wind chimes that we got hanging about. They are very reassuring, deeply healing in a very therapeutic manner, as well as kind of cool. So collective. I'll share with you a little something funny, not necessarily to distract you, but to give you some insight as to how this might take place or what it is that you can expect in some of this. And you're not me, and I'm not you, but I am a spiritual medium, a shamanic guide, and ordained by the Most High God Himself to be able to help give some of these messages. One of my, I guess you could say it would potentially be embarrassing, but it's always very emotionally overwhelming for me to be visited by an archangel, especially an ancestor or loved one. I cry almost every time, like just uncontrollably, like I just start tearing up, like I'm not alone, I love you guys, you're here for me, and they just kind of laugh at me. And generally, they'll either cut right to the chase and give me what's going on, tell me what I need to hear, or what I need to know. Or they'll just kind of smile at me and look at me like, you know, you big lovable love, like you're you're at odds with yourself because you're alone. But then as soon as we show up, you're just this big mushy mess. So they're kind of like caught in the crosshairs when it comes to dealing with me to some capacity. And if that's you, you know, feel free to laugh, because it is kind of funny that the paradox, deep cellular healing, star bathing, that they're helping me, they're assisting me. I can feel their presence, and if you can too, definitely don't discount that. Lean into that. Lean into them. They're here to help. They're here to guide. But it's pretty comical that just about every time they show up, and I don't control when that is. You know, I'm just trying to stay open to it. It can be overwhelming in and of itself to wake up to such a truth like that you are not alone, that the universe is guiding you, that there is a level of intuition and clarity that comes with just about everyone, and it's a matter of choosing to participate in the communication. Let's take a step outside the box here, and I'll leave you with this in closing, is that they can see us, they can hear us, and more than that, they feel what we feel, they know what we know, then to a large degree, they know a lot of what we don't know. So their perspective is higher, and even just being in their presence can stir things in you energetically that you would believe that you're not ready for, but from their perspective, they're coming in at the perfect time, the perfect moment, which is why they've done so. So, with that collective, I hope that you give yourself a lot of grace, a lot of love and light to you. I hope that you're protected, you're hydrated, and you're feeling integrated. And then you feel welcome, both in this space as well as the world. Until next time, I hope that you're well. See ya.